Hey, are you getting a wake up call every night at 3 a.m.? Do you find that there's a specific time each night that you just naturally wake up? I got my earbuds in. I talk to so many women that have a wake up at 2:30, 3 a.m., and it's happened to me as well. And so I have a potential reason and an experiment for you to try to see if you can offset that. So what happens is you may be low in blood sugar, and when you're low in blood sugar, you get a cortisol response. And one of the jobs of cortisol is to wake you up. So then it often takes about 45 minutes for your body to shut down and fall back asleep. And typically our sleep cycle is about 90 minutes. So when you're woken up in the middle of your sleep cycle, you feel a bit groggy. So have you ever had your alarm go off at, say your alarm's going off at 6:30, but you wake up at 6 and you feel pretty rested, but it's like, oh, I've got another half an hour, I'm going to go back to sleep. And then your alarm goes off at 6:30 and it's like, oh, you feel so tired. You're probably better off to get up at, when your natural sleep cycle triggers you to. So anyway, okay, back to the 3 a.m. wake up. So what you can try to do to offset that 3 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. Wake up is have a little bit of protein and fat before bed so that you don't elicit an insulin response. So eating slow digesting protein with a bit of fat will keep your blood sugar more stable throughout the night so that you don't get that cortisol response in the middle of the night. So some examples might be casein protein as a supplement, because that's a very slow digesting protein. So if you have a choice on supplements, whey protein is great after your workout, but casein protein is best before bed because it's slower digesting. And having that with like a bit of almond butter is a great choice. You could throw it in with, say, a little bit of Greek yogurt that has a bit of fat in it. You could put some berries in, but you want to keep the carbs at a minimum. And the reason you want to keep the carbs at a minimum is because when you have carbs, your body produces insulin. When the insulin goes up, then once it's processed, you'll get low blood sugar. So, we're trying to avoid that low blood sugar so that you don't get a cortisol response. So another thing is you could just have like a piece of protein, like maybe a higher fat protein, like a piece of salmon or a piece of beef. And that might be helpful to help you eliminate that cortisol response in the middle of the night. So, I was talking to a client this morning on one of our coaching calls, and, she said, oh, it might be that I have to get up to pee, or it might be a hot flash. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes for me, like it might be that I wake up and then I notice that I have to go pee, not that I'm waking up because I have to pee. So it's like chicken or the egg, but it's worthwhile testing for yourself, because it might be that low blood sugar is waking you up and not the fact that you have a full bladder. So try that trick of having a little bit of slow digesting protein and fat before bed and see if that helps you to sleep through the night. Because it might not be the hot flash. You might just be having a bit of a hot flash that you might have slept through had you not woken up because you had a cortisol response. So we have to do a little bit of, experimenting to help us get rested. If you want some help with, specifics on how to dial in your nutrition to offset, menopausal symptoms or help you look and feel your best, let me know. I will help you. But let's try that slow digesting protein and a little bit of fat before bed to see if that will offset that 3 a.m. alarm. All right, take care.